All right. So the mental disorder that I got assigned is dissociative identity disorder. Here's a picture from the Moon Knight show. I put a bunch of those in here because that's what he has in the show. Where I guess the idea here is that he's looking at himself, and that's like a different personality of him that he's looking at. So that's kind of what it feels like there. Um, let's move on here. Okay, so what is it? So it's also known as multiple personality disorder. I think it was called that, but then they switched the name. So it involves switching between personalities. Exactly what Moon Knight does. And here he is, personality, here he is in another. It may feel like there are other people inside your head, or you may feel possessed. Exactly what Moon Knight actually is. He's possessed by like an god, but also, he's also mentally ill. So it's kind of both. So anyways, it's usually caused by early traumatic abuse, which again is actually exactly what happens in the show. He brother died, and then like he got blamed for it, and he got like I think physically like beat up a bunch by his parents, which is part of what causes it. So it's usually just any sort of physical abuse in childhood, something like that is what caused because it's an attempt to detach from that trauma that you had experienced. So you like create a different personality, which again is actually what happens in the show. Because like he creates a personality based off like an Indiana Jones character that like he was watching as a child. So then that became like his separate personality because he was trying to like get away from all that. It's pretty sad. Anyways, each identity may have their own name, their own history, their own voice, their own likes and dislikes, their own mannerisms, and here's a cool part, even physical qualities such as the need for eyeglasses. That sounds pretty crazy, but I put a link down there where it says that. I'm not making that up. That's actually like a real thing there. So yeah, that's pretty wild, I think. And again, in the show, like with the voice history, like one of his personalities is British, the other one like doesn't have a British accent. They each have like their own backstories and stuff, own mannerisms. Yeah, I mean, they're different personalities. What you would expect there. Right. So symptoms, sense of being separated from yourself or your emotion. Straightforward, thinking things around you are fake. And hallucinations, you got both those. Like thinking things are there when they're not there, and thinking things are not there when they are there. That's pretty. I put stress in many areas of life, like work, your relationships. I guess just living would be hard in general when you have this disorder here. Severe memory loss, amnesia, forgetting things about yourself. So it's not just that you have a bad memory. It's more like that you're forgetting entire areas of your life and like what you've done, like even like forgetting things about yourself, like your own past or stuff like that. Like in the show, he'll like wake up after he changes personalities and he's like in a city or something. Depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. Those. I guess those are like symptoms. It goes along with it. And I'll talk more about that when we get to treatment. Here are some misconceptions. One is that it is rare. It actually affects 1% of the population, so it's not super rare. It's not like it's less than one. Actually, like a good amount. Another one, those with it are prone to violence. Uh, not, not necessarily.
Since a misconception is that those with it are prone to violence, this means that anything that depicts it with someone who is prone to violence is therefore inaccurate.
Not necessarily. It's the same as schizophrenia. It's not. It's a whole different thing. Another one that it is the same as borderline personality disorder, which is the inability to manage emotions. So the thought here is that um, really what it's being caused by is you're bad at managing your emotions. So, you create like three different personalities or something. But no, it's more like it's caused by actual trauma. So it's like a whole different because you're trying to detach from a traumatic experience in the past. So it's not like it's just an inability to manage emotions. It's a whole different. Another thing that it is obvious and easy to diagnose. There's an average of 4 incorrect diagnoses, I think is how you would say that, until one is diagnosed with DID. So, on average, someone with DID, they will be incorrectly diagnosed 4 times before they actually get diagnosed with DID. That's pretty. That's pretty crazy. It's not at all diagnosed very well. And then there's the for those. Okay, treatments and therapies. So first of all, we're talking about like symptoms such as depression and anxiety. Go along with it. Usually there'd just be medication given for those, just as it usually would be if you were exhibiting those symptoms, anyways. But as far as treating the actual disorder goes, uh, the only therapy that I could find listed by anyone, and I think this is just the main way that they do it, is psychotherapy, talking to a therapist to help identify troubling emotions and thoughts. So the main way they're trying to treat this is literally just by like sitting with a therapist and like talking about your emotions and stuff. So anyways, the what it specifically focuses on is working through past trauma or abuse, since that's like the thing that is causing the disorder in the first place. So you work through like whatever past traumatic event or experience that is causing the disorder, so that's causing you to form different personalities because you're trying to detach from that in the first place. Managing sudden behavioral changes, since that's obviously going to be an issue there if you're constantly switching between personalities and you're not even like really sure when that's going to happen, or if you're like forgetting things a lot, like entire moments of your life, it's going to be difficult there. And then finally, the main goal there is merging the separate identities into a single identity. So that's really the ultimate goal in going through psychotherapy, is so that you can try to get rid of the traumatic experience, so that you're not swapping between personalities all the time. And you can like merge them into one and become like a unified person there. Anyways, hope that makes sense. Here's my source on that. And with that, that is the end of the presentation.